A common myth tells us that a dog staring at its owner during the night only means one thing: they have a physical need: water, food, a walk. Behavioral psychology, however, reveals a deeper, less transactional truth. Credible research from institutions like the University of Tokyo's Canine Studies Department suggests this behavior, this silent, nocturnal vigilance, transcends resource dependency. It targets a fundamental evolutionary imperative within both species. So when the house is still and your sleep is interrupted by that unyielding gaze, what is your dog really telling you? Nighttime is a sensory deprivation tank for the human mind. Our primary navigation tool, vision, is diminished, but for our dogs, it is a period of peak environmental awareness. Their nocturnal world is rich with olfactory and auditory details we simply cannot access. Canine behavior is rarely accidental. When this behavior manifests in the dead of night, it taps into the quiet architecture of their cognitive process. Why do some dogs choose to monitor us while we are most vulnerable? This exploration decodes the non-verbal dialogue occurring between your sleeping form and your dog's waking mind. We investigate the psychology of this connection, moving beyond simple anthropomorphism into the science of the canine brain. This quiet, unwavering monitoring is often the visual signature of patience. Psychology defines anticipation not as active demand, but as a state of readiness for expected input. Your dog knows the rhythm of your sleep. They are waiting for your cue, not giving you theirs. Research from cognitive science programs such as Duke University's Canine Cognition Center highlights the complexity of canine executive function, specifically their ability for delayed gratification and patience while observing a social partner. We must look at evolutionary divergence. Wolves are crepuscular, active during twilight. Domestic dogs have adapted to a diurnal human schedule, but they retain the sentinel genetics of their ancestors. In ancient pack dynamics, one wolf often remained vigilant while others rested. University of Vienna research on wolf-dog comparative behavior shows that while dogs have diversified behaviors, the biological imperative for group safety remains powerful. Your dog isn't watching you. They are monitoring you in relation to the environment. That unsettling stare, right when you feel nervous about a sound outside, they are checking your reaction. They are scanning your stress markers, assessing if they need to escalate their protective status. This is not a visual demand. It is an ancestral commitment to serve as the silent early warning system for the family unit. Humans communicate predominantly with words and vision. Dogs navigate using smell, hearing, and the ability to interpret chemical changes. When a dog stares intensely at night, they are often processing a signal that our own biology has broadcast without our knowledge. Dogs possess up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have 6 million. Research into medical detection capabilities from institutions like Medical Detection Dogs in the UK
proves that dogs can detect subtle biochemical shifts related to medical events, stress pheromones, and even emotional fluctuations before human awareness. A person experiencing a dynamic shift in blood sugar or the early onset of a nightmare will produce pheromones and heart rate changes. The dog senses this cognitive dissonance. The stare is their attempt to diagnose the contradiction between your outward stillness and your inner chemical storm. Their silent gaze is often a desperate question to which they have not yet found the biological answer. One of the most profound psychological links between species is emotional mirroring. Psychology studies on canine empathy, published in journals such as Animal Cognition, for example Custance and Mayer, show dogs are highly sensitive to human emotional cues and often experience vicarious emotional states. In the darkness, your facial expressions, breathing rhythm, and overall tension are magnified. When your mind is active and possibly distressed during sleep, your dog is visually digesting that stress. Think of a night when you were deeply anxious about work or a relationship. You might find your dog at the foot of the bed matching your intensity, staring at you with a shared sense of gravity. They are not waiting to play. They are co-experiencing your burden, reflecting your energy back to you. This quiet vigilance is the absolute definition of nonverbal companionship. We shift from cognitive psychology to biological chemistry. This is the positive feedback mechanism that solidifies the connection. The most cited study from the University of Tokyo, Nagasawa et al., confirmed that mutual prolonged eye contact between dogs and their owners triggers a specific release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in both species. This hormonal surge creates physiological calm, reduces heart rate, and deepens social connection. Sometimes you wake up in a peaceful mood for no apparent reason, only to find your dog holding your gaze with soft happy eyes. This is not sentinel duty or a biochemical puzzle. It is the simple, powerful act of seeking comfort. This is the emotional resonance that occurs when physical needs are met, and all that remains is the desire for shared calm. In this state, they look at you and you look at them, and both systems receive the neurological signal of safe and loved. We must also refine our definitions. There is a distinction in behavioral psychology between guarding a resource and guarding a partner. When a dog stares because they possessively guard the bed or your physical presence, it often involves stiff posture or a desire for physical contact. But the nocturnal watchman behaves behavior we are discussing here is different. It is rooted in their concept of group hierarchy and their self-appointed role as active watchmen. This is proximity maintenance with a sophisticated purpose. The research shows that highly bonded dogs will often position themselves in the dark where they have physical awareness of the owner but visual dominance of the room's access points. Their stare, directed at you, is often a check to ensure their supportive presence is acknowledged and effective. This stare is not dynamic ownership, it is the quiet expression of an emotional contract. Finally, we arrive at the unified theory of the human-dog bond. Psychology, evolutionary science, and biochemistry cannot fully quantify the absolute, unwavering connection that transcends words. Brain imaging studies, led by researchers like Brian Hare, show that dogs' brains process human connections similarly to how humans process other family member connections. A night comes when there are no external noises, no internal distress, and no biological demands, yet you wake, and that gaze is there, steady and timeless. It is the core expression of their entire existence. In the void of the night, their visual anchor is your face. They are confirming the singular relationship that defines their life. When a dog stares in that moment, it is the profound expression of absolute commitment. The nocturnal stare is not one thing. It is all things. It is the evolutionary pact, the biological imperative, and the voluntary choice. It is the language dogs speak when the world goes quiet. While this behavior is usually positive, sudden changes in behavior always require attention. A sudden shift to relentless staring, combined with other signals, must be taken seriously. Look for accompanying symptoms: pacing, whining, excessive panting, or stiffness in posture. If your older dog stares blankly for hours, it may indicate cognitive dysfunction, similar to dementia in humans. A sudden onset of intense, anxious staring may signal pain that they cannot otherwise articulate. In these specific, serious instances, do not try to decode it yourself. Consult a certified veterinary behaviorist immediately. Understanding canine communication must always prioritize their physical well-being over our emotional interpretation. To deepen your own connection with your dog when they use this quiet nocturnal communication, remember 2 insights. First, return the gaze gently. Mutual eye contact is a powerful positive biofeedback loop for both of you. Second, learn to observe the whole context: posture, breathing, and environment. Your eyes are only one part of the dialogue. Canine Decoded focuses on helping you understand the complex, intelligent mind that shares your life. If this helped you understand your dog on a deeper level, subscribe to Canine Decoded.